Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely. Usually I say the day and then a lovely this evening or a lovely this morning, but since I'm on vacation, I've actually forgotten which day it is, which honestly I'm not going to fight with. So I hope you're having a lovely day, whatever it is. So today I'd like to discuss the right to repair bill that's moving through Colorado right now. And this is something that I've talked about many times on this channel. Right to repair is the idea that you should not be stopped or barred in some way by the manufacturer from being able to fix what it is you bought and paid for. The idea of pushing back against this concept of you will own nothing and be happy that is becoming more and more pervasive throughout society nowadays. This is not just something that affects MacBooks and cell phones and stuff like that, but rather affects just about everything nowadays. And I talked about this in a video that I did last year about wheelchairs and right to repair. We talked about how members of the state legislature would say things like they had to sit through, quote, this bill again and then laugh. And, you know, so you can read the text of the bill. I'll link it down below. Now, there was quite a bit of progress made recently, and in the next few days, I hope to see the governor sign the bill. This moved through the state house and through the state senate very, very smoothly over the past several months in a manner that it never has before. And I have most of you to thank for that. There's one person who donated about almost like $1 million to the 501c3 last year, and many of you who gave over 700-800K to the 501c4. And this type of support has allowed me to fund advocacy groups around the country to not just educate people on what right to repair is, but also educate organizations on why they should care about it so that they could use a little bit of their clout in order to try to push things through. And one of my goals has been to get it to a point where the people that are doing the advocacy work may not even actually know who I am. I may have approved of them. I may have picked them. I may have chosen them for a grant and set out some of what it is I'm looking for them to do, but they may not have actually even heard of me or have a clue who I am, and they are there every single day getting work done. So I wanted to say thank you very much to the people, whether it's Mendez Consulting or whether the people at US PIRG or any one of the groups that they have been issuing grants to, for making this happen. I have not appeared in Colorado. I've never testified in Colorado. I've never stepped foot in the state of Colorado. And yet there's a bill that is going to be signed this year that last year was literally laughed out of the legislature, in spite of the fact that many people showed up in their broken wheelchairs to testify to these legislators and show them. This is a joystick that I've been waiting months for. This is a button that I've been waiting months for. This is something I had to jerry-rig on my own because the manufacturer won't help me. And this is a particularly interesting article where, you know, what it says here, they considered going through his wheelchair supplier for the repairs. If we did that, he would literally be in bed for months, says Bolduc, who along with her husband is a member of the Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, an advocacy group. There's a quality of life issue. He could be lying in bed staring at the ceiling. He has no movement without his wheelchair. But instead, Bolduc tracked down the manufacturer, ordered several buttons online for $20 each, and discovered that replacing the part herself was simple. There are many stories like this where, and you can read them down below, I will link to the testimony, where people are talking about repairs that would cost, you know, $5 to $20 in parts, maybe $100 to $200 in labor if you're talking about expert labor, and they're not able to get it done. They're willing to pay, they're willing to buy the stuff that they need, and they can't get access to it, which sounds very similar to our industry, where I am more than happy to pay Apple a yearly fee of $6,000 every single year just to get access to schematics. I'm more than happy to pay them thousands of dollars a year to be a member of program where when I knock on Intersolar Texas Instruments door, I'm actually able to buy a chip from them. And I can't. There's no amount of money that I can give them. There's no certification that I can get that would allow me to do that. And one of the, you know, technically this really doesn't have to do with what I usually work on, which is, again, MacBook repairs, you know, like cell phone data recovery, the logic board repair, stuff like that. But it does tie into a concept on this channel. And one of the concepts that glues all the stuff that we do on this channel together is that concept of personal freedom, of not having somebody else be able to tell you what it is you can do with what you own and not trying to restrict you. And when you're talking about a situation where somebody may be bedridden for 2 or 3 months versus being able to get back up and running and enjoy the world, enjoy the great outdoors, go over well, maybe not over there because there's alligators over there, but, you know, maybe like 6 yards away from the place where the alligators are with their wheelchair when they couldn't do that before. That almost brings a tear to my eye, to be honest with you, to recognize that so many more people will be able to have that freedom to just be able to move around, go outside, go get around their house, visit their family that otherwise wouldn't be able to without this. It really is beautiful, and I have all of you to thank for being a part of making this happen. And, now there are some things that I think should be brought up here that I think do deserve to be looked into. To be clear, I'm not somebody that's really knowledgeable when it comes to healthcare, but there are criticisms of Medicare and how Medicaid and Medicare are put together here with regards to creating an incentive structure that leads to this. It says in this article, regulations set by Medicare and adopted by most Medicaid and commercial health plans have led to lower quality products, no coverage for preventive maintenance, and enough red tape to bring wheelchairs to a halt. Medicare regulations add to the problems with low reimbursements, and Medicare only pays for parts and labor, not for the technician's travel time. So a lot of the people, if you can't move, you can't travel to bring your wheelchair to a shop. So a lot of these people who are doing wheelchair repair are traveling to the customer. And if you're talking about a more rural area, if somebody has to travel 75 miles, and you're not going to be reimbursed for that, it really does make it difficult for you to put together a repair program. So that is something that I think really does need to be looked at here. And yeah, you got a couple of other things here that I'm not going to... So another one is Medicare officials have interpreted the statute establishing payment for durable medical equipment to cover wheelchairs only for in-home use. So consequently, many power wheelchairs aren't designed for outdoor use and are prone to failures when users take them outside. It's like you're outside walking all day with your slippers on. So a lot of the wheelchairs that get made are indoor only, specifically because of the way Medicare is reimbursing the companies for the wheelchairs. They're mostly reimbursing them if they made an indoor one. And a lot of people are not going to want to utilize a wheelchair for indoor use only. You have a lot of people out there that actually do want to go outside, that would like to be able to, go on their porch or go in their backyard, or dare I say it, shop for groceries. And, so it's not just the companies here. Medicare does have some blame in the fact that the wheelchair repair industry is as screwed up as it is, in my opinion. And I'd love to hear more on this from people who are experts in the field. There is still a good part of this that is an issue from the manufacturer. Here you have it saying some chairs require a software passcode or a physical key for any repairs. Does that sound familiar to the kind of stuff that we deal with, where you can replace a part in a device and it won't work properly unless it's paired by the manufacturer? This is something I've been talking about for a long time, and it is really not just affecting laptops and cell phones, but rather everything. And this is a serious problem. You also have some other stuff on the administrative side where in order for somebody to actually be able to get reimbursed for a wheelchair repair, they may need to see a doctor and confirm that they still need a wheelchair, which is obviously going to massively, massively delay you from being able to get a repair. So there are some issues here from the corporate side, but there are also some issues from the Medicare side. And it's really interesting to see how all of this unfolds. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. How does this affect you if you're somebody who owns a wheelchair? What is it like trying to get your wheelchair repaired? And how much of the blame do you think sits on the Medicare and Medicaid system for having these perverse incentive structures set up? And how much of it do you think is on the companies for going out of their way to whether not stock parts, not make parts available, or put a actual physical key or software passcode necessary in order for you to do a basic repair on a device that you own? That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.